So, I want to talk about my Fallout collection, and normally I film like this, but this box is so big that you can't really see it. Also, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm just a person with a camera. But yeah, this is the Fallout Anthology. So, the Fallout series, now available as a complete award-winning collection with Fallout, Fallout 2, Fallout Tactics, Brotherhood of Steel, Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition, and Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition in a funky little thing. So let's have a look-a-roo. This is the bomb out of there. Okay, so as you can see, the detailing on it, even though it's not actually metal, it's just a sturdy plastic. Detailing on it is very impressive. I am very happy with this. One thing I don't fully understand is why it has this sound effect. I don't see a need for that at all. But if we just disarm the bomb here, then inside we have the actual games themselves. Yep, here we go. And here we have the individual games. So yeah, Fallout 1. I do like the design of all of these discs and everything. It's very beautiful. Fallout 1 is very interesting game. Let's have a look at some footage of Fallout 1.
I believe I shall. My scientists assure me that nothing is wrong. What do you say to that?
Say!
Reasonable. One moment. Are you sure? What about the other?
Females.
It cannot be.
Be.
But it cannot be. This would mean that
All my work.
has been for nothing. Everything that I've tried to...
A failure!
It can't
Be.
be. I can see that now. Madness.
Madness?
There is no hope. Leave now. Leave while you still have.
Hope.
I don't know if I'd call it dated, because you look at Fallout 1 and then you look at games like Wasteland 2, which are modern, and the upcoming Wasteland 3, which is so modern it's not even out yet, at least at the time of recording. But it's very similar to them. Obviously it's, it was a spiritual successor to the original Wasteland, and Wasteland 2 is a spiritual successor to Fallout 1 and 2, so there's obviously that connection, but it holds up amazingly well. I love this game. I love the graphics. I love how gory it is. Like, I find that the gore it's just beautiful in a really weird way. Especially killing the Overseer at the end.
You saved us, but you'll kill us. I'm sorry. You're a hero, and you have to leave.
You're a hero, and you saved us, but you'll kill us. So fuck off. And then you just shoot him. It's awesome. And now we move on to the introduction of the Enclave in Fallout 2. All of these have nice little things on the back, like Fallout 1 had it as well. Very nice. Fallout 2 is interesting. I mean, if we just take a look at the game before we talk about it a little bit.
You're wearing a vault suit. I never imagined I would meet an inhabitant of another vault. This Vault 13, where is it located? Oh, now I understand. But what proof do you have that your ancestor was from a vault? A tribal legend? You'll need something more substantial than some tribal myth if you want anyone to believe your claim. Do you have any conception of how busy I am? I run this city, and I have precious little time to waste with you and your wild claims.
So yeah, very similar to Fallout 1. I mean, it came out very close to it. I think within the same year. I should know this. Yeah, it came out a year after the first game. So obviously it shares a lot of the assets, the engine, the gameplay. Basically it's bigger in every way, and I don't necessarily mean that in a good way. The Easter eggs are bigger and sillier. The game is much bigger and much longer. I like Fallout 1 more in my opinion because Fallout 1 is easier to jump into. It's easier to just move through. Fallout 2, you feel like you just... Yeah, people always like, oh, there's more talking heads, which makes it better than Fallout 1. And yes, there is. There's more people who have actually voice-acted lines, which makes moving through the game sometimes easier. And I love the story, like the introduction of the NCR. To this day, the NCR is still my favourite place to visit in any Fallout game. But overall, I think I prefer Fallout 1 to Fallout 2, just because Fallout 2, you feel like you need to dedicate like a solid 2-week block of playing nothing else but that game just to get through it. And that's even when you're not doing everything. That's just when you're doing, like, you know, a normal playthrough. So, very big game. I love it, but I very, very slightly prefer the first game to the second one, even though the second one is fucking amazing. And if you haven't played it, I'd say objectively the second one is better, but I would say my preference would be the first one. So yeah, I highly recommend playing this if you haven't. It's one of the best games ever made, up there with the first one. And now we move to Fallout Tactics, the only Fallout game I've never beaten. Why? Oh, because it's fucking hard, that's why. I'm not good at this game, I'll be honest. I'm good at the first two. I've 100% in New Vegas. You know, I've beaten Fallout 1, 2, 3, New Vegas and 4, God knows how many times. I've even beaten the bloody Brotherhood of Steel on the PS2 twice. But I can't beat Tactics. For some reason I just can't. Anyway, let's have a quick lookaroo at the old gameplay. So yeah, similar to Fallout 1 and 2 in visuals, but the gameplay, I'm not sure if you could tell from the brief clips I showed, but very different actually. It's far more, well, tactical, and Fallout Tactics. It's more about, you know, moving slowly through the air. It's basically not the RPG, it's just the combat side, and the combat has been given a lot more depth because of that. And the combat is great, but very difficult. And I'm just not very good at it. One day I'll beat it, I swear to God. In fact, I might reinstall it after I upload this video. But yeah, good game, never beaten it. I need to. So I don't really have much to say about it because I don't know that much about the story. Literally, I've got past the first, like, I think 2 missions, and then I get stuck because I suck at it so much. So, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. What do I have to say about this piece of shit? Well, it's a piece of shit. It's definitely the worst Fallout game. When people say that Fallout 76 is the worst Fallout game, I'm like, have you even played this shit? Like, really? Oh, it's not the worst game I've played though. That I'll say. I've played much worse games than this one. And at least it has a nice disc, but it's just, it doesn't feel like a Fallout game. It's the weirdest thing. It's mediocre game that feels like it's made by somebody that really didn't understand Fallout, which is odd because it was made by Interplay, like right there, Interplay. This is made by the people that made the original 2 games. This is more OG bloody Fallout than Fallout 3 is. And yet, it's freaking terrible. It's honestly probably the worst game in the series. No, it definitely is the worst game in the series. It's stupidly sexist for no reason. The gameplay is just not Fallout at all. It's not tactical. It's literally just about having the biggest gun and the best armor, and then you can win anything. There's no tactics or thinking. There's like very little progression you can do. Basically, the choices in the game amount to do you do the quest or not, and you have to do all of the main quests. And all of the side quests are on the way to the main quest, so if you're not doing them, why are you not doing them? Because they're literally on the way. It's like having a corridor with something halfway down the corridor, and the side quest is to pick up the thing halfway down the corridor. That's what this game is like. So there's really no reason not to do the side quests. I mean, you could not do them for some reason. About as Fallout-y as it gets is the arena mode, in which you can choose to fight monsters and stuff. Even the Vault-Tec in this game isn't called Vault-Tec. It's called VT. There's no Nuka-Cola in the game. Instead, it's Balls Energy Drink, which is a fucking product placement. Like, it doesn't feel like a Fallout game. Like, it even has the Vault Dweller from Fallout 1 in it, and yet somehow it doesn't feel like a Fallout game. It is odd.
Hey! Back in line, slaves. I can't sell you if you're dead, but I'll shoot you in the back if you try to run.
I don't want to die.
As for you, insects, you better bring those supplies by tomorrow.
Wait, you can't do this.
Shut your mouth, worm, before I step on you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you gorgeous hunks, let's go. And anyone who's too drunk to walk gets left behind. Now move!
It's you. I followed you to make sure the mutants would never use our research as a weapon against humanity. Please, before you go, kill me. Don't let it eat me alive.
It's interesting, so if you're a Fallout fan, I would recommend trying to pick it up. Just because of how weird it is. It's such an anomaly that I would say it's worth playing. Just out of, it's not good, but curiosity makes it worth playing for Fallout fans. Do you want to know what's on the soundtrack? Fucking Slipknot. I don't have a problem with Slipknot. I've seen them live. You know, I used to be quite a big fan. I don't really listen to them anymore. My tastes have changed. But that's not the problem. The problem is that they're in a fucking Fallout game. Why a Fallout game? Why? It makes no sense. And that's why this is worth playing, because it's fucking interesting. Just in how odd it is. So yeah, Fallout 3 is a very interesting game. It's one I really like Fallout 3. You can tell because I own it on PC. I own it on PS3. I own it on PS3 as well. And I also own it on PS4, on the Xbox 360. And I own it on Steam. And if they were to bring it out on anything else, I'd own it on that. I like this game. I'm not in the crowd of people of Fallout fans that don't like this game. Do I think it's better than New Vegas? Hell no. New Vegas is probably the shared best Fallout game along with Fallout 1. But I do like this game. The reason it falls flat in my opinion is because Bethesda didn't follow through on the ideas they had. They got negative feedback, and instead of having integrity in their ideas and sticking to their guns, they just changed everything. And to me, that just marks a bad game. Don't get me wrong, I like open-ended games. I think it works really well with the Elder Scrolls series. But the point of Fallout 3, as noted even by the end card where it says that you died and then you wake up from a coma in the Brotherhood Citadel, is you start at your birth and you move all the way through to your death. And it is the story of your life. That is the entire theming and setup of the game. But no, they changed it with the Broken Steel expansion. It wasn't a bad expansion on its own, but it just reeked of we've given up on our themes, and not even re-recording the end card is just lazy. And then you've got other stuff that's just sort of lazy. Like, I don't like having unkillable characters in Fallout games. It works for the Elder Scrolls, but in Fallout, personally, I don't like it that much. Essential characters is not something I like. They don't break the game, and I do like the game. I love the theme around water and how honestly ruined the world is, and just that moment where you leave the vault and your eyes literally have to adjust to the light, and then you see the devastation for yourself. And as this was a lot of people, including mine, introduction to the Fallout world, that is a hell of a good way to introduce you to the Wasteland. And it has stuck with me and so many other people. And this game deserves more credit than it gets, because people have been giving it a hard time. And although it's not perfect, it is a good game. And I think people need to recognise that a bit more. But of course, it's nothing compared to New Vegas. New Vegas is essentially the Fallout 3 that we never got. It's kind of what Van Buren was meant to be, but also not, because it's made way later than after Fallout 3. But yeah, this is made by the a lot of the same people that made Fallout 2, and it is a spiritual Fallout 3. And I'm so glad we got it, because continuing the story of the NCR is amazing. Being introduced to the Legion was really cool, and seeing this other big government that's sprung up. Fallout New Vegas is very interesting because, and this is something Bethesda don't seem to understand about the Fallout universe, but from Fallout 2 onwards, in terms of the classic Fallouts, so Fallout 2 and Fallout New Vegas basically, and Fallout Tactics as well. Basically, it's a post-apocalyptic game. It is after the apocalypse, and society has rebuilt. Like, you go to the NCR capital, and they've built paved roads. They've got a statue that they've manufactured and built. In New Vegas, the NCR is minting and coining bloody their own money, and they've even the Crimson Caravan is essentially managing the caps as well, because they make sure that no more are manufactured, so that the value of caps isn't decreased. There's an economy that's running now, like a national economy. This is no longer a post-apocalyptic Mad Max scenario. This is after that. This is when the world rebuilt itself, and that's what I find fascinating. And it was done so well in this game. And it's such a good continuation to Fallout 2. 18 months this fucking masterpiece was made in, and I don't know how they did it. I really don't. It's so good. Seriously, it's the only game of all of these that I've 100%ed. And God knows how many hours I've put into it, because, I've played it on 360, although I sold it on my 360 when I moved down to Brighton years ago. But I've beaten it on PC. I've 100%ed it on PC. I've beaten it twice on PS3 since I got my new PS3, and I've beaten it before then, and I've probably put at least 1,000 hours, I'd say more, into this game, and I fucking love it. It is not not just the best Fallout game, but one of the best games ever made, ever. And not an opinion, that is fact. I love Fallout 3, I really do, but this is the best Fallout game you can play. Not a fan of the DLCs, oddly enough. I think they were kind of lacking. Fallout 3 had much better DLC, with the exception of Mothership Zeta. Mothership Zeta! So I'm replaying Fallout 4 at the moment. And I don't know. I don't like it, if I'm honest. I think that there was no point even having a dialogue system because it just amounts to yes, no, tell me more, and sarcastic. So it's pointless. It's completely pointless. You might as well have just had a system that's based on actions instead of dialogue. You know, if you don't want to do a quest, don't do a quest, and that can affect things. Not being able to say no, it just doesn't. It's the same thing basically, but you've just added an extra step. It's just no dialogue with an extra step. So I don't like it. I think it's the worst, one of the worst Fallout games. Even worse than oh yeah, no, I also own Fallout 4 on the Xbox One and PS4 because collections. Anyway, moving swiftly on, I legitimately think this is a better Fallout game than Fallout 4. It got rid of the stupid dialogue system that wasn't needed because it did nothing. It has a much more interesting and colourful and just interesting world to explore. Like the West Virginia going through the stage of automation that we see a bit of in the Pit DLC for Fallout 3, and expanding on that was fascinating. I love learning about it. I also loved it being a prequel to Fallout 1, which is really interesting, like learning a bit more of the lore around the Brothers of Steel and stuff. It actually felt like Bethesda writ that really well. I really liked it. Does it have problems? Fuck yes. But I don't think the problems are the game itself. I think they're the stuff on top of the game. Because you've got Fallout 76, which is a sort of MMO online thingy. But I mean, I never play it as an online game, I just play it on my own. And I like it. But the problem is, you've got a bunch of stuff whacked on top of it. So you've got just the fact that Bethesda doesn't put enough money and maintenance into their servers. That's one problem. Then you've got the fact that, you know, Bethesda just the Atom Store and all the bullshit that is, and how pay to win and fucking predatory it is. That's that bullshit. And then you've got the fact that, you know, it's just not optimized very well. Like, I love the game, but the fact is that every patch does introduce new issues. And although I don't think they're as bad as people tend to make out, like people were saying that the the bins in Fallout First like ate your stuff, and it just didn't show up on any menus. They were still there, they just weren't visible. They were essentially invisible in all the lists, which is still a problem, but it's not as bad as people were making it out to be. But you've got all of them bugs and stuff, and that's another issue on top of it. And then you've got the whole just management of the fucking merch. You know, the helmet with mold in it, the fucking canvas bag, all of that shit. That's that shit, all on top of it. And then you've got the whole mess that is Fallout First and the fucking Civil War that started because of it. That's that. Because of all of the shit on top of it, you can't see the good game underneath. And I think that's the problem with Fallout 76. It's hidden underneath shit. But under that shit, there is a good game that I really like. I think this is Bethesda's I think it's the best Bethesda Fallout game. Better than Fallout 3. And definitely better than Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is their worst one. But, I just wish you could see it. Because, like, I don't play this game anymore. I used to play it a lot, but after I ended up getting sucked into the Atom Store and spending money I didn't have, I just had to uninstall it. And I'm scared to install it now, and that's not how I should feel with a fucking game. Because I love the game under this. Like I say, I think the game underneath it all is Bethesda's best Fallout game. I love the way that it brings back the sort of, not directly, but it indirectly brings back the frantic, do I have enough time to do this aspect from Fallout 1 and 2 with managing your inventory. Because instead of just pausing time and being able to heal yourself and change your guns and all of that stuff, now you have to actually hide, because when you go into your Pip-Boy, it's all in real time. And so you have to think tactically about that stuff. And changing weapons is not something you do easily, like in the first 2 games. And I love how it brings that back. I think getting rid of the dialogue system and having no dialogue whatsoever is actually an improvement over 4, because in 4, every time I had to do the dialogue, I was just reminded how bad the dialogue was. So, like, I think this game is Bethesda's best Fallout game, and I love it. I also love hunting around for cryptids. I think the world is more interesting just to explore. Sometimes I can spend like 2 or 3 hours in this game, not even doing any quests, just exploring the world, because the world is that just good. But then you've got all of the bullshit, and that trashes it, and that breaks my heart, because I'm scared to play this game now, and I really want to, and that annoys me, and it pisses me off. So yeah. So, what to talk about next? Maybe we could talk about this. Yeah, no, I have a fully working Pip-Boy, and as you can tell from this wonderfully cool card, certificate of authenticity. This certificate shipped with this Pip-Boy Mark II is confirmation that this product is a authentic limited edition red rocket skinned Pip-Boy 2000 Mark IV, manufactured by the One Company in 2019 in a limited quantity of 500 units. The One Company, and then one of 500 units, please place blah blah blah. There's the Pip-Boy, and it has it's a bit hard to see because it's a bit bright, but it has a fully working screen, and you know, it has all of the dials that work, the buttons you can press. The radio on this one doesn't work, but I plan next year to get the radio module that actually works, because I do want that, because oh my god, that'd be so cool. We've got the date, which is 23rd of October 2077, which is for Fallout fans a very important date. That is the date that the Great War happened. And then you can turn the screen on or off, which is really cool. We've got all of the detailing is completely authentic. I am very happy with this product. It cost a lot of money, but boy is it the pride of my collection at the moment. It even comes with the holodeck that opens up, and you have a holotape. I really like the I love taking things from games and bringing them into the real world, and this is a really good example of how to do that well. Also, yeah, the screen flickers, which is quite cool. Pip-Boy Model 2000 Mark II. Yep, it's, like I say, really, really cool. Just like that in there. Boom. So yeah, if we get this, obviously it's got the red rocket skin on it. I just think the red rocket skin looks really cool. Like I say, I'm really freaking happy with how. Oh, I'm just really happy with this. But yeah, if we look at this, and now I'm gonna take a screenshot from the game and superimpose it over this so you can see how accurate this actually is, because okay, go. I also have a really cool plasma pistol, which modelled on the Fallout 4 variant of the gun instead of the Fallout 1, 2 or 3 variants. And yeah, it all lights up and cool and stuff. You know, press that. Boom, boom, boom. The detailing on it is, once again, amazing. Like, the one company once again made this, and I'm very happy with it. It looks friggin' fantastic, and I can't wait to go to a convention with all of this gear, because it just looks amazing. And yeah, so once again I'm just going to take a screenshot from the game and place it over this wonderful, wonderful thing. So yeah, I've also got a collection of Nuka-Cola bottle caps. We have the standard Nuka-Cola bottle caps. Oh. And these are from the Wasteland Warfare tabletop game, similar to Warcraft but more Fallouty. So I bought these from them. From that, they're really cool. Like I say, I love taking things from games and having them like in my hands, because it feels like I've got a part of that fictional world like come to life, and this is fucking prime for that. I've also, from people on like Etsy and eBay and stuff, picked up a few of the limited variants. Like you got a Nuka-Cola Cherry here. In fact, I think all the variants I've got are from Nuka-Cola Cherry. I need to try and get some Quantums. Another Nuka-Cola Cherry design. And this is my favourite Nuka Cherry, because it's very very simple, but it does the job, and it's my favourite. And yep, don't know if I've already shown this one. Have I shown that one? What was the other ones I've shown? No, I haven't shown this one. This one. Big old bag of caps. Very useful when you're in the wasteland. With this you can buy a shitload of stuff. But yeah. And we move on to the last two things I want to look at in this little video. You've got a Vault-Tec Bubblehead. And he's Fallout 4 variant, as you can tell, from Vault 111. There he is, a little wobbly head. And then you've got Mothman from Fallout 76, because I freaking love Mothman, and my wonderful, beautiful girlfriend bought this for me. It's a Funko Pop, but I think it's the only good Funko Pop. I don't normally like them because I think they all just look the same, but this one has such a unique design that I think without the box you can't even tell it's a Funko Pop. So I love this thing. It looks amazing, and it definitely looks like Mothman from the games. Like if we just have a Mothy comparison, we'll just bring Mothman where my hand is now, the in-game Mothman. Bring him here. So yeah, you can see that in-game Mothman and the Funko Pop Mothman, wonderfully detailed, wonderfully similar. It's just really cool. I'm really happy with it. And then you've got the bobblehead, which is very simple but rather cool. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm a rather big Fallout fan. I love this series so fucking much, and there's lots more I want to do a video on. Like, I've got the Fallout board game downstairs, and I'd love to do a video on that at some point, showing that off, but I think it's a bit too much to show off an entire board game like that, because it's one of them board games that, you know, it takes an hour to set up and then like another 5 to 6 hours to actually play. So I'll probably do that in a separate video. But yeah, I just love this series, and I love collecting stuff from it. And when I've got more stuff to show off, I will definitely show it. I mean, I've got a fucking Vault suit on right now. But yeah, But oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna, you know, hold this here for 20 seconds so that it can be an out screen with stuff.